What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we're going to be having a look at the other card. You see, earlier today I showed you the battle card Bravery, and I told you that there was a counterpart. It's time to look at Stealthiness, and whereas Bravery introduced Brave, Stealthiness, you might be surprised to learn, introduces stealth. I say introduces. We knew that stealth was coming. It's not like stealth was something that has taken us completely by surprise. There was a TFW podcast where some of the members of the Transformers TCG team were interviewed, and they said, well, actually, we've seen Brave, and you haven't seen stealth. So we knew stealth was coming. And given that we know what Bravery does, it's fairly easy to figure out what Stealthiness is going to do. It is a utility upgrade that you attach to a character, and it gives them stealth, meaning that other characters must be attacked if they are able to be. Now, there is an orange pip on here, meaning it's good for attacking decks. Like I said with Bravery, it doesn't really matter which pip you have here. Stealth isn't necessarily for an attacking deck or a defending deck. I would imagine at some point in the future, we're going to get a version of this with a blue pip, just to allow it to be played in a blue deck. We do have a situation at the moment where if you want to play a predominantly defensive blue deck, Stealthiness doesn't quite fit, but you may wish to use Stealthiness here. So it's a little bit awkward, but we'll run with it. So, stealth then. Is it any good? And the answer is yes. It's incredibly good. Now, I do need to give you the reminder again about the first turn rules, etc. So let's say, for argument's sake, it's the first turn of the game, you're getting the first attack, all of your opponent's characters are untapped. Now, generally speaking, the rule is you must attack a tapped character. You can attack whichever tapped character you like, unless there's another rule in play which says otherwise. And if all the characters are untapped, then you have a free choice of who you attack. So Stealthiness comes in here and says, actually, no, you don't. You don't have a free choice of who to attack. You can attack anyone but this. Now, if you put this on a character, and then you attack with it first, and it is your only tapped character, then your opponent goes, well, I'm only allowed to attack tapped characters. You've only got one tapped character, ergo, I'm going to attack you even though you've got Stealthiness. But as long as you can avoid that situation, Stealthiness will keep you safe here. And this is good. The example I used in the previous video was Wossy. Great attack, but a little bit fragile. But how about something like Bumblebee Legendary Warrior? And ladies and gentlemen, when you have a card like this, I know I am not the only one whose mind immediately went to Bumblebee Legendary Warrior. I am fully aware of this. But let's face it, ladies and gentlemen, it is a ridiculous use for this particular card. Now, I'm primarily thinking of the bot mode skill here. And the bot mode skill says, while this is your only character on the battlefield, you have +2 attack and +2 defense. So 5 attack, 1 defense is fine. 1 above average attack, 1 below average defense, it's alright. But 7 attack, 3 defense is great. Especially, incidentally, on a melee character, where you can use body armor to give yourself tough free, or power sword to give you bold free. Yeah, that gets pretty gosh darn good pretty gosh darn quickly. The problem is that anyone playing against Bumblebee Legendary Warrior is going to go, well, I can't leave that as the only character on the battlefield, because, well, actually, that's going to get really good if I leave as the only character on the battlefield. So what you do is you go after it. But as the Bumblebee player, you whack a Stealthiness on here, and then you go, cool, nice. Now I'm protected. Now I'm okay. Now I'm going to survive for a turn or two. I'm going to get that extra little bit of bulk. Let's face it. When we're playing the Transformers TCG, we all have those turns where we sit there going, please don't attack that character, please don't attack that character, please don't attack that character. I mean, let's take Dinobots as an example. By now, I'm assuming if you watch these videos regularly, you've probably realized I am a man that likes Dinobots. Dinobots, they're my boys, quite frankly. Now, the thing is, Dinobot Sludge is an extremely good character because it allows you to heal your other Dinobots. So one thing that you'll see happen in a whole bunch of games is your opponent will go after Dinobot Sludge. With the theory being, if I take down Sludge, You can't heal with sludge. That makes my life easier. And yeah, there are I still function shenanigans, but generally speaking, going after sludge stops the healing. Well, you can put stealthiness on here, and they can't go after Dinobot sludge. Or maybe you're 2 KOs away from winning the game, and you're thinking that you can use Grimlock here. Now, Grimlock's skill in bot mode says that if you do enough damage to KO and then a bit more, you can move that damage onto a second character. Now, your opponent does choose which character, but remember that if there's only 2 characters left, there's going to be no choice there. So you might be thinking, right, I can win this game by taking a big KO with Grimlock big enough to actually KO 2 characters. Now, if you've spotted that, there's a very good chance your opponent has spotted the exact same thing. So your opponent's going to be going, right, I'll show him, and they're going to be trying to target down your Grimlock. Because they might be thinking, well, Snarl can take a KO, I don't mind. Snarl can't take 2 KOs, that gives me 1 more turn to win the game and I'm good. So they go after Grimlock, you want to protect Grimlock, all of a sudden in comes stealthiness, you survive, you win the game. It can be that drastic. And it's this protection that is the real reason to be playing this. This is what you're doing. You are making sure that at the key moments in the game, you are protecting your key character. Now, it may well be that you are playing a pair of characters, let's say for argument's sake, Nemesis Prime and Autobot Cosmos. Now, there are reasons to play both of these characters. It's a deck that no one ever seems to really be getting working, but I've heard Wizards of the Coast staff talk on podcasts about this, and it's certainly a deck in which I am extremely interested, though I've pulled 2 Secret Rare Bumblebees and no Nemesis Prime, which is very sad. But you can't win them all. Nemesis Prime, really good attacker, gets better as the game wears on, because you get +3 attack for each card under him. And you get a card under him by running out of your deck. Whereas Autobot Cosmos gets an automatic KO if you can reshuffle your deck while attacking and the defending character has 12 stars or fewer. So let's say you're against something like Optimus Prime Battlefield Legend, well that's a 13-star character. So Autobot Cosmos cannot get a KO. Or heaven forbid you're against something like Volcanicus, not Volcanius, Volcanicus, which is nowhere near a 12-star character. In those situations, Autobot Cosmos becomes a pretty bad attacker, but a great damage sponge. Whereas Nemesis Prime remains a great attacker, and clearly your opponent is going to go after Nemesis Prime, knowing that he's the bigger threat. So in comes Stealthiness to protect him. Now at this stage, I need to wrap this pair of videos up by saying, okay, but in a 2-bot deck, aren't Stealthiness and Bravery basically the same thing, but one's got a blue icon, one's got an orange icon? Yes. If we take Nemesis Prime and Autobot Cosmos as an example, a Stealthiness on Nemesis Prime essentially does the same thing as a Bravery on Autobot Cosmos. Bravery means Cosmos has got to be attacked, Stealthiness means that Nemesis Prime can't be attacked, which means Autobot Cosmos has to be attacked. In a 2-bot deck, you can basically choose whichever one of these you like. But in a 5-wide deck, things get an awful lot more complicated. It may well be that you just want to protect a character, or it may well be that you've got one character you really want to get KO'd. I mean, a great example of this is Optimus Maximus. Optimus Maximus is made up of a whole bunch of characters that have abilities when you flip them in the KO area. And at this stage, you know I'm going to go Autobot Hot Rod because he's clearly the best. When it's in your KO area and you flip it into bot mode, do 1 damage to an enemy. Well, your opponent might really want to stop you doing that, so they're going to make sure to KO Hot Rod late or KO Hot Rod after you've already transformed into bot mode. Well, here, Bravery can be used to make sure Autobot Hot Rod gets KO'd. Whereas something like Optimus Prime, you might really want to keep on the field, so you use Stealthiness to keep it alive. And that's the difference between the two. Are there similarities? Oh my goodness, yes. And in some decks, will they actually meet the same purpose? Yes. And that's why it's great that one has a blue icon, one has an orange icon to give you that choice. But let's make no mistake about it. Something like Autobot Hot Rod getting into the KO area quickly, you've got to use Bravery. Something like Optimus Prime keeping it on the field, you've got to use Stealthiness. And look, this video is about Stealthiness, so you have got to mention the new Grimlock here, because Grimlock is a phenomenal card and your opponent is going to be going after it. You can, when you attack, choose a Dinobot you own from outside the game, put it in your KO area. Given that Volcanicus combines from 5 Dinobots, and you've got to play 3 Dinobots and no more than that in your initial deck, you've kind of got to attack with Grimlock twice, and Stealthiness allows you to attack with Grimlock twice. And characters like Grimlock and Bumblebee really show how vital Stealthiness can be. Yeah, these are a pair of cards, but I do think they were worth looking at separately, so I kind of had to look at them separately, which is why they each got their own video. So yes, they're connected, but they are separate cards. And like I said in my Bravery video, I love that we've got these, and I love the new avenues we're going down with these. It makes me very happy. But I'd like to know what you think, ladies and gentlemen, so please do let me know in the comment section. Go nuts, but please do make sure to be nice, because that is a very important thing. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wossy, because that's where we talk about Transformers and other games. And of course, the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wossy Plays.